Hello and welcome everybody back to the Toxic Show, the show where passion meets banter, rivalries ignite, and the top six teams collide. We are back, baby. I told you guys I'd have an intro. I told you I'd have an intro. So here we go. That is the official intro. So I hope you guys like that one. As always, guys, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you hit the comment section. It's been a while since we've had a panel on. And yeah, we've got a lot that's happened in the world of football in the past month that we've probably gotten together. I think it's been 3.5 weeks since our last show, but a lot has happened in the world of football. As always, guys, I'm super stoked to welcome my illustrious panel here. Returning after a bit of and I hate this is Rian, obviously, guys, his team, Liverpool, sitting pretty at the top of the Premier League, bro. Welcome back. As you can see, that big smile there. Then we've got the two boys in blue below me in the bottom left corner. We've got Mr. Kalen, guys. Obviously, Kalen is being a regular feature on the show, both on Gunner's Voice as well as the Toxic Show. And then obviously we have the the controversial yet the popular figure, Mr. Godwin, obviously repping Chelsea. Gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Thanks for making time to just chat football, man.
Hope you guys are good. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. So obviously, I tried to get a Man City fan on the channel, but it was a bit of a last minute thing. I don't know if that's really the excuse, but we'll go with that. And look, when we spoke last time, City had just kind of started this slight little slump. It wasn't as hectic as it is now. And I remember playing this video, and I'm actually gonna play it again. And ever since that moment, like City have just like I don't know what it is, but I don't know if Ateta put some other witchcraft on City, but they have gone like it's gone tremendously bad for Man City. And I think, let's be honest, gents, none of us sitting here, maybe you could have seen City having a bit of a slump, but I don't think we could have foreseen them losing as many games in a row as they have, being winless in about what's it 6 7 games now in a row. I think we could have maybe seen 2 games here, 2 games there throughout the season, but 7 or 6 games without a win for City is incredible. And I think Rian, your boys just compounded their misery yesterday with a honestly breathtaking performance. The scoreline doesn't really say it, but if you really watch the game, you saw that first half in particular, how Liverpool gave City nothing. City looked shell shocked. How are you feeling, bro? How are you? How's your confidence levels looking? In terms of your chance of winning the league, and what did you make of your performance yesterday against City?
Thank you. I think last time I was on the show, I said that I'm not gonna be too confident. There's still a lot of games. There's still a lot of shock moments that's gonna come. But if you look at the slot ball, it's something else. In terms of the formation and the tactics that he uses. In terms of the confidence, like you said, Virgil van Dijk is back to his best. If you look at Gravenbach playing the sixth role, I mean, who would have expected him to perform so well, doing the dirty job, going in for the tackles. And the key player, I'm going to say, for Liverpool to win the league, I'm going to say two key players. That's going to be Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah. Mo Salah is currently the best African player. That's a fact. And also the fact that he's been putting up these numbers now. This is his 8th season. He works hard. He looks after himself. He reminds me of CR7. Like they put in the work. And it speaks for itself. It's volumes, And the only other player that's currently close to that level of Salah in terms of consistency is Saka. And Saka is up and coming. So if you look at how Liverpool is playing in terms of just the transition and the formation that we're using, I mean, I didn't expect Diaz to play the false nine role again, and it worked into our favor in terms of the energy, the press, and City really miss Rodri. Without Rodri, they look lost. And I agree with you in terms of Haaland also telling Arteta, stay humble. Words can bite you, and it's surely biting them now. In terms of their performance, and I think Guardiola has lost the dressing room. I'm not sure. Seems like it is having Mourinho moments, guys. You remember Mourinho lost a few games, and he used to put up his hands. I've won so many titles of so many titles. It's not about how many titles you've won in the past. It's about what you are doing now. And the league is still open. I do see Chelsea and Arsenal as favorites as well. You know, Chelsea are the underdogs. I would have expected them to do so well in terms of the balance that they have. So I'm all for it. You know, I'm excited. Liverpool are top of the Champions League as well, but it's early days, guys. I think we'll only be able to tell towards the new year. There's 8 or 9 games that I have to play in December. So a lot of football, you know, midweek games, weekend games. It's all about rotation. It's all about the squad staying fresh, no injuries. And it's also about if you get an injured player, the player that comes in needs to know this is my role, this is what I need to do. So it's not about you a bad player or good player. All the players need to pitch up and all the players need to play their part in terms of winning the league. So I think we have a clear view start of January. Thank you.
100% Rian, and I think your analysis there, is spot on. I think, Liverpool have started well, guys, and this is not me speaking as an Arsenal fan hoping that Liverpool like fall off. That is, I definitely hope that. Don't let's not get it twisted. I definitely hope Liverpool fall off, but I think their start to the season has been good, and I think what has helped Liverpool, in my opinion, is the fact that there hasn't been that much pressure on them. What I mean is that maybe Liverpool fans maybe had a bit of expectation, but all of us were like, you know what? This is a free pass for Liverpool this season in the sense that, just make top four, maybe win a cup and it's okay. Or you don't win a cup, just make top four, consolidate the top four position. Basically do what Klopp did last season for Slot. That will be a successful season. But he's come in and he's broken that barrier. He's broken the expectation. You like I said, the way they dominated City yesterday wasn't in the way that Liverpool used to dominate years ago. I hope you guys are.
Can you guys hear me?
Okay, Gordon, I think while he's having network issues, I think you and Kylan can take over, put some input in terms of what you guys think about the game of Liverpool and City and the way forward.
Okay, yeah, nah, yeah, Shannon. Shannon, what were you saying, bro?
Oh, sorry, people. Like I said, I said off stream. I told the guys that I've even connected a LAN cable into my computer, but I don't know why my connection is still so shady. So, apologies for that. But what I was saying is that I think look at Liverpool this season. The way they dominated City was not necessarily purely in the press. It was just in all phases, from attack to midfield to defense. Liverpool dominated City. City were not creating chances. City were not on the ball well, and City were defending poorly. And I think when you look at it from a Liverpool perspective, Slot has really come in and he hasn't tinkered much. He hasn't bought 5, 6 players. One player in Chiesa who's not even available. So technically, this is the exact same side that Liverpool had last season because Chiesa's not there. And for a new manager to come in to do what he's done. I mean, in the space of the week, guys, no matter what you think of the quality of the teams currently, City are not at the greatest. We can all admit that. Neither are Real Madrid. But it's still City, it's still Real Madrid. And for Liverpool to have beaten both those teams and keep 2 clean sheets, as much as I'm hoping, saying, listen, I think hopefully Liverpool drop points, I can't see where right now. I know that it will happen. I just don't know where. I can't see to be like, oh, yes. Look, they concede. Liverpool tend to concede chances. They may not lie against Brighton. They conceded quite a few chances. If Brighton had better strikers, they maybe score. There are Southampton had chances. Let's not lie. But overall, I think Liverpool tend to dominate the entire game. There are the one or two chances. So look at like I said, Rian. I'm sure you super stoked, bro. Let me bring in Kalen. Well, Godwin was actually going to speak. Let me bring you in, bro. Obviously, you know had your thoughts on Liverpool this season. And you've given them a lot of credit as well. With the performance that they put in yesterday, bro, do you just think that maybe this is not just early season form, but this is something that Liverpool will actually continue to do throughout the season?
I mean, yes, I do think that they will be able to do this for the rest of the season. I wasn't particularly high on Liverpool a few months ago. I thought that the style of play had really slot wasn't really beneficial to the way that they play. But now we're seeing that it's actually very beneficial. The players know what to do. They're more calculated. They seem to outwork opponents still. So I do think that they will continue this good run of form. However, December is going to be a big test because there's a lot of games, and if they can keep those players fit, the key players, your Virgils, your Mohamed, your even people like Ryan Gravenbach, if those kind of players can keep fit, and if you can manage those minutes during the festive season, then I do think that Liverpool will do well.
No, 100%. And I think that's the key thing with Liverpool. I think Liverpool, what they have over Arsenal currently is probably, elite players, bro. Like, Saka, good start to the season, quality player. Odegaard, quality player. Saliba, Gabriel, quality players. But Arsenal probably have more quality individuals. I just think Liverpool have the one or two or three standout, possibly all timers, bro. No, I'm just, God, let me put it like this, bro. Currently in the squad, is Konate better than Saliba or Gabriel? You can maybe say on form, but I also don't think so, bro. I don't think so.
Debatable.
I think
I'm
debatable,
taking
100%.
over Gabriel.
I think Gabriel is really disrespected, bro. Generally speaking, if you can
No,
tell
he's
me how
good.
many times you watch Gabriel make mistakes and which other defender has a goal scoring threat. But anyway, we're not just to debate that. What I'm saying is that there's not much between the teams besides, I think, a Mo Salah, a Virgil van Dijk, a Trent Alexander-Arnold, Alisson. Those are four out. We can debate it, but all timers. You can easily put Alisson as one of the best ever Premier League goalkeepers. Trent is one of the best ever fullbacks. Van Dijk is one of the best ever centre backs, and Salah, in my opinion, is the best ever winger we've seen in the Premier League, bro. Hands down. Don't tell me accolades. Look at it like for what it is, bro. Look like Salah, bro. It's mad, bro. Like what's up? Like Giggs, you can say Giggs has got longevity. But bro, I would rather have Salah over Giggs any day, bro. And I don't. There's not an age bias. This is nothing, bro. This is literally just I've seen Giggs. Stylistically, Salah is just on another level, and I think that's where my worries with Arsenal is that, and compared to Liverpool, is that if those players stay fit for the rest of the season, what tips the balance in Arsenal's favor? I mean, if Liverpool lose Salah for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, or Van Dijk for 6 to 8 weeks, then we can really see, okay, what is this Liverpool team made of? Because you, like Rian said, you need an entire team to win the league. But currently, Liverpool have the entire team plus their star players performing. Trent's on good form. Trent was defending like a beast yesterday. He got only beat a couple times, by Doku, which, I mean, Doku was fresh. You had Van Dijk, who gave Haaland nothing. And then you got Salah, bro, who was just, his imperious best. And I think, yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to claw back Liverpool. I won't lie. I'm hoping that Liverpool actually are the ones that kind of bring themselves down. I'm not expecting favors from other teams. I'm actually expecting Liverpool to get complacent. I'm hoping that that's what actually creeps into them. But, Kalen, bro, obviously, your team has obviously went to Anfield, similar to what City has, and obviously also lost and found it quite tough playing against this Arnie Slot Liverpool team. What did you make of Liverpool's performance? But actually, my real question is, what did you make of City's performance yesterday, bro? This is no longer just a little slump. This is a really, really bad patch of form. This is almost, guys, if this wasn't Pep Guardiola, people would be asking for this manager to be sacked. This is sackable form, if you're being completely honest. Just, Kayla, let me ask you from a City perspective, bro. Is it possible for them to claw back this 11-point gap?
Evening, gents. Hope everyone's well. Awesome to be back once again after a long time. Yeah, no, in terms of Manchester City, you know, when you say that if it wasn't for Pep, they would have probably given the sack. I mean, Anfield was calling for a sack, and he did show his six Premier League trophies. But I think there's more than enough time to get back to where they used to be. And if it's one team that you can never count out, and we've done it before when you guys were ahead by, I think it was 8 point gap towards the latter stages. Liverpool also had at 1 point. Every single time they've clawed back. So I'm enjoying this beautiful spell of Manchester City finally. Every single podcast I talk about them, it's getting boring now. They keep winning. Now to see them haven't won a game in the last seven, it's giving me real joy. But there's more than enough time for Manchester City to come back. And you know what? The Rodri is probably going to be out the entire season, so they have to go into the market in Jan if they have any chance of clawing back. But can never say never with City. We hope for the worst for them, but let's not count the chickens before they hatch.
No, 100%. And I think with City, and people, listen, I'm not debating Rodri not being there, but I don't think it's a Rodri size problem that City have. It can't just be that one player is out and they completely collapse, bro. Like, guys, listen, Rodri's a great player, right? Ballon d'Or winner, you can argue that. But I don't think Rodri is that important to City to the point where they can't win in 7 games. And against the opposition they played against as well, bruh, they could have gotten a win somewhere. I mean, Feyenoord, they 3-0 up, they draw 3-3. That's not because Rodri's not there. There's and we spoke about it on many podcasts before. It's like, is the motivation there? Is the hunger there? Did City make the mistake of not turning over the squad this season? And I've always given City the credit for that. Pep has always been ruthless in that regard. Pep has been very, very quick to turn over when he sees, okay, there's a level of complacency. Players are aging, this, that, and the other. But he's currently sitting with players, about 4 or 5 players in their 30s. Gundogan, Rodri, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva is approaching 30, Kyle Walker, Edison. It's not a young squad anymore. And I think the motivation, is not there from the players. I think, winning the treble and doing the 4-peat, generally speaking, what difference is a 4-peat to a 5-peat? You know what I'm saying? Like, you still be the only one to do it anyway. So I don't know if like the hunger for them to win a league title this season is there. Even the Champions League, like the fact that they were the first Champions League side in City's history to win it, like they don't have to win it again to prove anything. Like the next generation is more on them, the new crop of players coming in is to win it. And I think if City aren't careful, they'll find themselves in a very listen, I still expect them to make top 4. But they could easily be miles off first, second, and third if this continues. Because I don't see City, I don't see Chelsea, I don't see Liverpool, I don't see Arsenal dropping off in terms of form to a catastrophic level where, they maybe lose or don't win in 7 games. I don't see Chelsea not winning 1 game in 7. I don't see Arsenal not winning 1 game in 7. I definitely don't see Liverpool not winning 1 game in 7. So my question then comes in, as much as we cannot count the City team out, it's also that the other teams ahead of them, and that's what everybody says every season, the strength of the league is getting better. You can no longer afford to lose 3 games. Look at Arsenal. Arsenal were on a rough patch. I mean, we drew against Chelsea, lost against Bournemouth, lost against Newcastle. Those 3 games, here we are 9 points behind Liverpool. You know what I'm saying? Like, the league is unforgiving. It doesn't wait for you to get back into your form. And I think if City and Pep are not careful, they'll find themselves competing for a top 4 position where most people think they should be in a title race. And I think, listen, I'm not calling for Pep to get sacked because I still think, a manager who is rightfully said, I've won 6 out of 7 Premier League titles. I think it's fair enough to say to him, you get 1 season grace. You know what I'm saying? Even if City have to finish like 8th, bro, it's still never gonna put in my opinion, like a bad look on his tenure here, because this guy's just done a 4-peat. Like whatever he does now, it's like it's insignificant in my opinion. But look, gents, I think we've covered that topic nicely in 20 minutes there. I think Liverpool are looking strong. Salah is definitely on for a record-breaking season. That's all I'm gonna say. If this guy doesn't get injured, I thought he's gonna pass the crown over to Saka this season, but that man is not relinquishing his crown, bro. He's just going up levels, bro, and it's crazy, man. It's like to see the consistency, like Rian said, is how he takes care of himself. I mean, there's not a pause when I say this, When that guy takes off his shirt, bro, that guy doesn't look like he's in his 30s, bro. He's in elite form, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can see that guy is in shape, bro. He takes care of his body. He's really a pure professional. Godwin, wipe the freaking smile off your face, my guy. But I just think that when you have players, and maybe it's because sorry guys, I know I'm rambling here, but I know that he's in the last year of his contract. Whether he leaves or stays, I think he's so focused on just this season, and I think that's what makes it tough. Is that he's so focused on the now. You know, he's not thinking about okay, 2 years now. He's thinking this is my last contract possibly at Anfield. How else do I want to be remembered? How do I want to go out as the king? You know what I'm saying? And I think when you've got that player in that kind of level, it's going to be tough. You know, I mean, we play Liverpool in May, you know, and that could be a title decider come May. And it's at Anfield, you know, it's like, what the hell? You know, like, come on, bro. Like, you know, so yeah. Look, I think, you know, we've got midweek games this week. I think Liverpool are away at Newcastle, and I'm hoping that's the start of their slump. We City are at home to Forest. You know, I don't know I think they'll probably get a win. I think it will give now. I think they will eventually get something on the board. Rian, obviously, just quickly, bro, do you expect your boys to get 3 points against Newcastle on Wednesday?
I expect them to win the game. It's going to be a tough game. I mean, if we look at the history of Newcastle and Liverpool, it's not one of those games whereby it's an easy win for us. There's always goals involved in that game. You know, Isak is a threat, but he's also there's a 75% chance of him playing. That's according to fantasy due to a hip injury. You know, he's always a threat, and they are a physical team. So I expect a fight. It's gonna be a battle in the middle of the park. You know, they have tenacious midfielders. So if we can secure the middle of the park, you know, we should win the game. We are strong up front. We solid at the back, but it's definitely gonna be a tough game. I mean, it's back-to-back games that is happening right now, and it's really difficult. And then just back onto the City quickly. City is becoming a bit predictable. If you look at Bernardo and Foden, two technical players. Second half, he brought on his speedsters. It didn't work for him. He's been doing it now for like 4 or 5 games. So I just think also you need to be fresh as a manager in terms of the type of style and soccer that you are playing. You know, like look at Arsenal. You guys have 2 or 3 styles of play. Liverpool have 2 or 3 styles of play in terms of first half and second half. So this is one that we can discuss definitely for January. Like, let's see if Pep is gonna bring a new style of play. Definitely, I'm excited for that, guys.
100% Rian, and I think, you know, yeah, look, I think it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks. I think, you know, we're going to this festive period where we probably have games every 4 days. Yeah, got on, jump in, bro, jump in.
If I might add to Rian's point, he said something about January. Guys, are we forgetting that FP, what's this financial fair play exists? You can't go there and spend 203 million, and that it looks like they need that kind of money to rebuild the squad. So it's not going to be as easy as just going to the transfer market and getting who you want anymore, buddy. Those days are long gone. So yeah, that's just what I had to add.
Yeah, and that's exactly that, Gordon. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's not a Rodri-sized hole. It's not like they can just go in January, get a number 6, and now they're gonna go win the league. It's like they need 4 or 5 players, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like they need a new right back because Rico Lewis is not. He's not looking like Pep is also confusing the young boy. He's trying to play him everywhere. You know, sometimes the versatility of a player can be his downfall because he can't actually secure a position. You know, you've got Kyle Walker, bro. Kyle Walker is looking finished, bro. And that's not a disrespect to him. It's just that what made him a great defender was his pace. His pace is going, bro, and he's not a good defender. Kyle Walker has never been a good defender, bro. He's just been quick. So he can always, like, what he has over Trent and what he never got crucified for was Walker would make a lot of mistakes, but his pace allowed him to fix those mistakes. Where with Trent wasn't blessed with the pace. So when Trent used to make mistakes a couple of years ago, it was highlighted. But if I'm being honest, I would have Trent over Walker any day because I would take Trent's mistakes because I know I'm going to get a dead ball or a great pass that game. Walker, I don't disrespect. This guy is a 4 Peter. I don't disrespect him. I'm just saying, you know, from what I like in a footballer. And, you know, they need another striker. Haaland is like, bro, Haaland is playing into the hands of Van Dijk, of Saliba and Gabriel. He's literally playing into their hands. These are physical centre backs. I mean, against Chelsea as well, bro. Yes, he scored, but I think if you look at it last season, you know, Chelsea actually were quite good against him in terms of how your centre backs came up against him because you've got Levi Colwill, which I know Godwin you despise, but I mean he's still a physical centre back. You've got Fofana, who did okay against Watkins over the weekend. And obviously, we'll get into that a bit later. But City needs someone like Julian Alvarez, who was so good at being able to come on and play with Haaland. That was something that Foden is not able to do currently. Foden is not able to play with Haaland like Alvarez would. And I think that's where City are really struggling, is that they don't really have, like Rian said, a plan B. Haaland is playing 90 minutes here, one way, bro, one way. Whether he's doing something or Haaland is not coming off. You know what I'm saying? And it shows because they don't have another option. And I think if you're trying to go win a title, people will say Arsenal have Jesus and Kai Havertz, but those are two different strikers, bro. You know what I'm saying in a sense, and it helps us. You can put Trossard as a number 9. You can do something different. Liverpool played false 9 yesterday with Diaz. They have Nunes on the bench, but they're doing well. Look at Chelsea, Jackson and Kunku. Kunku had a good chance yesterday, so it's just I think City need to freshen it up. But I think we've spent enough time on City. Should we jump to the Chelsea game or the Arsenal game, gents? You tell me.
We can jump to Arsenal. We saved the best for last.
Okay, so we'll end on Spurs. Lacquer. So obviously we saw Arsenal guys hammer, no pun intended, West Ham, 5-2, and what was a pretty crazy game, gents. Like that was if you actually I sat there with a beer, man, on Saturday, and I was like, Arsenal, let's just get a win. And then the game starts. West Ham start well. You expect them to late kickoff against a big team. Then we go 1-0 up. Okay, cool. 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. I'm like, lightning strikes twice. Game is done. Then they get a good goal. Great pass from Soler to Wan-Bissaka. Then they get a free kick, which, let's be honest, was not a free kick. But Emerson steps up and he puts that free kick in the freaking net perfectly. But what a goal. And then obviously Arsenal make it 5. And I think you look at Arsenal's form from the international break, bro. It's 3 games, 13 goals scored, 3 goals conceded. I mean, what I was asking for Arsenal, and this is obviously before we even had another show together, guys, was in my other solo piece of content I did on Ghana's Voice, was I asked Arsenal to switch it. I asked Ateta to come with something different. I asked if Arsenal are able to go on another run like we did last season, in terms of the January this year. And I think we are the start of that. It's just only 3 games, but it's 3 games where we've been utterly dominant, bro. Like the other teams have not laid a glove on us. Yes, Sporting scored, but I think that was poor defending from Calafiori. Then on Saturday, the 2 goals we scored were very avoidable. And again, I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm gonna believe in my team because it's my team. And what's the point in football if we don't have hope? What's the point in doing this if there's no hope involved? And I think I still believe we're gonna win the league. I generally still believe that Arsenal are gonna win the league. And I know people will be like, it's 9 points, and how I generally still feel that this squad that we've built has shown over the past couple of seasons that it's a squad that is able to put together an extended run. That was always the question asked by rival fans. City can go on a long run. Liverpool can go on a long run. Can Arsenal? And like I said, I'm much happier that we went on that blip in the first quarter of the season. We don't know what's going to come in the future, but for right now, I think for 3 games, 13 goals, I've got Saka scoring. I've got Odegaard looking like a machine, bro. I've got my centre backs defending well again, Havertz scoring. I mean, you Chelsea were sitting. Havertz has got the same amount of goals in half the games that he's had with you guys compared to us. You know what I'm saying? Jorginho on the weekend is looking like an absolute machine. When I say it comes to squad-wise, we have a better squad than Liverpool. I'll say that right now. I have a better squad than Liverpool. I just don't have, and listen, it's like I said, you guys can debate it all you want, but I still think our squad is better than Liverpool, but we don't have, like I said, the standout star players like Liverpool do. But that's enough from me. I think, I've said my piece on my team. Okay, Kaylan, I see you were unmuting yourself. Unmuting yourself. I know you had something to say. So, the floor is yours, brother. What did you make of Arsenal's performance against West Ham, obviously, on Saturday?
Yeah, no, shout out our boy Emerson, always a blue. But overall performance, happy with Arsenal. I mean, they played exceptionally well. Like you said, lightning struck twice and very dominant performance. It's a bit sad to see Saka get those assists because now he's just climbing ahead of Palmer. on the assist tally, but he's a world class player at the end of the day. And Arsenal, I mean, they got Manchester United coming up, so that's going to be the one true test for them. But judging from the form, and I can see they're picking up a bit, like you said, they went through that slump when we had our earlier podcast past few weeks, and they're coming back to who they are. But coming against Manchester United, it can all change. So very excited for that game on Wednesday. No, let's see how they can if they can maintain that form.
No, 100%. And look, I think United is going to be an interesting game. United but for all of us, they're a weird team. You never know what United is gonna pull up lately. But I do think that we'll get the win. I do think we'll win. I just think that it won't be straightforward. I'm not saying, yeah, Arsenal gonna come beat United 5-0 and whatever, but I also, guys, and I don't mean this arrogantly, I wouldn't be shocked if Arsenal beat United like 3-1, 4-1. And this has nothing to do with saying United are a bad team. I just think that because we are able to score from anywhere, create from anywhere, and defensively we're looking a lot stronger. It's not as good as I would like it to be, but I think we still need to find that form and consistency to be able to get those 3-4 clean sheets in a row. But I think United is probably one of the better games to have now. It's a rival. It's a team that will also want to play. There will be space. So it's also about who takes their chances. And I think the fact that we had a mini injury crisis earlier this season. The fact that the only two injured players officially that are out of this game is Ben White and Tomiyasu. I mean, that means that we've got I've got a full strength front line. My front line is complete, technically speaking, in terms of availability, not maybe quality, you know. So there's no reason why Arsenal shouldn't go and score the goals that we need to score on Wednesday. Midfield wise, I mean, Partey should be back, Marino should be back. So that means you got Marino, Jorginho, Rice, Partey, Odegaard, Ranieri. You've got all your available players. And then defensively, we also have enough cover, So I think the United game is going to be a tricky one, but I do expect Arsenal to win. And I'm not saying that, guys, me saying Arsenal winning 4-1 is not a prediction. I'm just saying it wouldn't shock me. Like, it wouldn't be something I'd be like, oh my goodness, I didn't expect Arsenal to put that kind of performance in. No, it would have if this was just after the international break and then we was, coming off that bad form. Where we are now, the past 3 games, seeing that we can score as many goals as we can in different ways, set pieces, open play, you name it, Arsenal scoring from those kind of scenarios. I think that's given me a lot of confidence for Wednesday's game. And Godwin, let me bring you in, bro. Obviously, you and I, we obviously have a very strong rivalry. I know it doesn't always make you happy to talk about Arsenal, especially since we're back on form. But do you think it's possible for Arsenal to claw back that 9-point gap from Liverpool? Obviously it's not dependent on us only, but do you think Arsenal have the ability, squad-wise in terms of quality and mentality-wise, to maybe claw Liverpool back?
Yeah, I do, 100%. Like I said earlier, I feel like injuries will play a big part, and I do feel that Liverpool will have a few injuries that will kind of hinder their performance. Arsenal are definitely capable. If they continue playing like this, they're definitely capable in making it a bit closer and fighting for the title, challenging for the title. So it's not over. Yes, I know there's a 9-point gap in December, but December will be crucial. Like, let's see how these games play out, and after this month, I think we'll have a more clearer view. If, let's say, for example, the league is 5 points between Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea, then we have a real title fight on our hands, and I feel that that's very, very likely.
No, I definitely agree with you, bro. I think, you know what, and Chelsea are very, like, Rian said, are dark horses in it. They very much are in. If Arsenal are in it, and Arsenal and Chelsea are on the same points, then surely Chelsea are in it too. I think the only question mark here over Chelsea is, do they have the experience squad-wise to do it? The quality is there, don't get me wrong. Chelsea got a very good squad, right? I've always said this. It's just like, do Chelsea maybe have that next step? Or, is that even where not saying where the focus is, but where it's like, you find yourself in a title race suddenly, and now the pressure's on, and it's like, oh shit, we actually have to maybe win this thing, and it's like, we weren't planning on this, and can Maresca change that quickly enough? Like with Arsenal in the first season where we competed.
What do you
say?
mean experience? What do you mean experience that we don't have experience? Chelsea have the same amounts of experience as Arsenal.
No, but I mean in terms of title races, bro. I mean, who in your team has went through a title
How
race
many
in the
titles
Premier
have you
League?
guys won? How many titles
No,
have you
I'm
guys
saying in
won?
terms of title, right? Listen, we haven't won the title, but I'm saying if anyone is going to be closer to winning a league title, it's going to be the guys that have been competing for it in the past couple of years, Liverpool and Arsenal. The guys that have had that experience of competing for the league. Like, for example, do you think that Robert Sanchez is going to save you in the key moments of the season?
No,
Do
no,
you
I don't.
do you
But
think your centre
I'm,
back
I'm just,
pairing
I'm
of
just
of,
going
of
off what you're
Colwell?
saying. You said experience, buddy. Your team have shown for the past few seasons that they always fall at the end, bro. So I don't know
Yes, but
what.
no, that's true. But what I'm saying, and my thing was, I didn't say about winning. I said about experience in a title race.
Okay,
Do
yeah,
Chelsea have the
fair enough.
experience to go into a title race? Because yes, Chelsea are technically in a title race right now, but are they? Do we all sit here right now and say in March Chelsea will be in a title race, fully chested out here? You guys know deep down you don't believe that. You don't believe that you will be in a title race by March.
Hey, man.
There we go. That's
Who
exactly
said that?
that tells me everything I needed to know. There's no chest. I thought I lost connection again. The way it went so quiet. That's my point. I can say here, I can sit here and say that I confidently believe my team will be the title race game come May. Screw March. So I know, guys. Again, you heard me this whole season. I've praised Chelsea. Yeah, I've given you your flowers. I think you guys are a good team. I see where you guys are gonna go. I just don't know if that's the step that they can take now. And I think that's a perfect pivot to jump into the Chelsea performance. Against Villa, who again, everybody speaks about Una Emre, bro. They're 8 games without a win as well. The only managers that seem to get pressure, no offense, is Amorim. I mean, not is United managers and Arsenal manager. No one else, when they lose, is their hype. Emre just went 8 games without the win, and everyone's like, "Oh, yeah, Villa 12th. That's cool." Like, what? These guys finished fourth last season, bro. How? What? European football, the reason they're falling off? So why aren't Arsenal falling off? Why aren't Liverpool falling off? You get what I'm saying? I just don't see. And look, Chelsea yesterday were good, bro. Chelsea were really good. Villa were poor, but Chelsea were on them like a rash. And I think Jackson again doesn't get his flowers, bro. It's telling you guys it's African bias, bro. I don't want to say the R word because it's not that, but there's a certain bias that comes to African players, bro. Look at him, Buemo from Brentford, Salah, Jackson. These are 3 players who are in the top 3 or top 5 in the top goal scorers this season. But you'll hear about other players there. Oh, Ollie Watkins. Bro, Jackson is having a better season than Ollie Watkins, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? And Jackson is not spoken about as one of the best strikers in Europe currently, which he is on form. He's not Lewandowski. He's not Harry Kane or them, but he is a player that's on form. And people forget that this guy's only 22. He's not actually a natural striker. He's a winger converted into a striker. And I think you have to give credit to Maresca. I think none of us expected Chelsea to be in this position as well. I don't know if it's the bald-headedness of this season that Slot and Maresca are just coming in and doing some other thing. Again, bro, Arteta is battling 3 bald-headed managers, bro. What the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, what the hell? But I think, let me bring the Chelsea guys in, Gordon. Let me bring you back in, bro. 3-0, clean sheet against a team in Villa who are very unpredictable. Obviously, they've been in poor form, but how happy with you that your team put a team that are in poor form to the sword? You didn't give Villa any sniffs. Okay, Watkins had a chance in the first half. He should probably score, but I don't think Villa had many chances besides that. I think Chelsea actually could have scored more than that, in my opinion.
Yeah. Now, how do I feel? I was very happy because Chelsea kind of lacked that big team win on like their resume. The biggest team we beat this season was Brighton. So to get a win over Aston Villa, who are in the Champions League and have shown that they're actually a good team, I mean, it was very, very positive to take out. And we didn't just beat them, we handled them convincingly. 3-0, clean sheet, 3 goals. Ha! What are you saying, boy? Maresca board is in full effect. So it's very, very encouraging. We're hoping for the best there in London. And I feel that all is well, and good times will return.
No, 100%. And I think, when you talk about Maresca ball being in full effect, I think that's one of the things where Even early now in this tenure, Amorim at United has said, listen, the main thing that United fans need to be focused on is how we are playing. The results will come. And I think same thing with Chelsea is that it was a good start to the season here and there, but dodgy, some good results maybe not going your way. But ultimately, you can see the plan. And I think as a Chelsea fan, that's what you want to see. It's been a couple of years since Chelsea had a proper identity. What is the formation? Who's going to start? You can kind of pick regulars now in the Chelsea team, and that's when you're starting to get somewhere. When you can
Yeah.
start to pick a regular team, and you as a fan can say, hey, I know this one's going to start. I know that one's going to start. It means your team is picking up form, and they're picking up understanding, and that means that there's trust in both the players and in the manager. And I think, Kalen, you you've been happy with Chelsea this season. When we spoke in person, you were saying that Enzo has just almost brought a breath of fresh air into the team, and that you got your Chelsea back. That's what you said to me. You said you're happy to see that you've kind of gotten your Chelsea back. Yes, Chelsea, you guys have been used to winning titles and competing, but the bare minimum is this level. What have you made, or like how pleased are you with the continuation of the form that you've had from the early part of the season up until now in the festive period, obviously the start of the festive period, and obviously yesterday's performance, bro? Like how pleased are you with what you're seeing from your players?
Chelsea gives me the biggest joy at this point in time. Before, I'm also a big fan of Real Madrid, also a big fan of Dortmund. Now that obviously Chelsea is my main team. And for the past couple of seasons, those were the teams that were giving me pieces of joy, and Chelsea has always been a disappointment. Now, the other teams that I enjoy watching are also not too great, but Chelsea, all of a sudden, making me the happiest guy on planet Earth. And I think Maresca is doing the best job at this point in time, even better than Slot. And let me tell you, because 3 months is all he has with the Chelsea team. Slot got a completed Jurgen Klopp team, world class players like you mentioned. So yes, no, not discrediting anything Slot's doing as an awesome manager technically, but he does have the upper hand and he has a beautiful foundation to work with. Whereas Enzo Maresca has the likes of Pochettino, Potter, even Tuchel's, some of Tuchel's players and Lampard's players. So there hasn't been anything to work with at Chelsea. It's like starting fresh. And what he's doing now at the moment, it's just, he's not putting pressure on the guys because in every single interview he's saying, what, we're not, and he mentions the names, he says, we're not on Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester City's level, even though we're above Man City. Last time this season, we were 13 points off Manchester City. This time, we're 2 points ahead of them. So that just shows improvement. I'm not gonna jump the gun and say, hey, we're in a title race because it's still too early and my team. And that's where I agree with you on your point about experience because we don't have that experience for sure, and in my opinion, to win a title at this point in time. So I would obviously, as a Chelsea fan, I'd love to see it, but I don't have the confidence in March, April, May to say we're gonna be there. But I just want to be back in the Champions League. You just start off with baby steps. Before you run, you need to walk. Before you walk, you need to crawl. So we in the Conference League, it's a must win. We got Team A, Team B, Team C. And this is where, again, another point where people are judging us about signing 50 million players, but not realizing that games are coming thick and fast. So we can afford to play our B team, C team in the Conference League where we know we're going to get instant qualification because we already won all our games. So that's like, we don't need to win everything. It doesn't, yes, I'd love to see my team go at 100% record and win, but it's not a must. So we can make sure that for the big games that are coming up in the Premier League and, the FA Cup games, we're going to be ready for those games and we're going to be the freshest team on the block because nobody has the squad depth that Chelsea has at this point in time. But yeah, in general, just so pleased, so happy with Chelsea. Brings tears to my eyes every time. Before I used to say, you know what, hey, let's take the girlfriend out on a date. I don't want to watch Chelsea play. Oh, Chelsea's playing. Nah, I don't want to be there. I don't want to watch the team. Now I'll tell my girlfriend to wait, hold on, Chelsea's playing. We're not going until we're done watching Chelsea. So there's just the beauty of the position we're in at the moment. But Rian, you can add some spice there. And what's your thoughts on Chelsea thus far?
Like I said, when we started this podcast, Chelsea are dark horses. I agree with Godwin. The way football has changed, you can't count them out. It just I think Chelsea just like they need one or two players that have that mental edge and that experience, two aged players, not 36, 37, but players in their prime, 28 to 32. They lack those type of players at this point in time that will give them that long run, to guide the boys on the field. Like Van Dijk is guiding the boys on the field. You need someone to guide him. I mean, if we look, even Slot, it wasn't an easy position for Slot to just come in and jump in and take over from Klopp. You need to come with your tactics. You come with your with your coaches. And the same thing also with Chelsea. They have three squads, guys. That's ridiculous. Imagine you have team A, team B, team C, and if there's one guy that Chelsea are sleeping on, which Maresca is slowly grooming to come back into contention for starting 11, is Nkunku. Honestly speaking, if Nkunku is 100% fit, he's much better than Jackson. No disrespect, guys. I mean, we've seen what Nkunku is capable of in the Bundesliga. We all know what he's capable of. I've been watching the Conference League, and Nkunku looks a new player. So if he can come into contention and play a false nine for Chelsea, we will see a different type of game. Just to be honest, it's all about squad depth. Like you said, squad depth is really, really, really important. And like you said, you guys have such a big squad. And what worries me with Arsenal and Liverpool is injuries. Right. If we look now, Gabriel is a doubt for the midweek game. Hopefully he'll play. I mean, he's a threat in the box. I mean, if you look at Chelsea in terms of versatility and in terms of how they are playing, they energetic. They don't give up. They are hungry for goals, and I think that's a team that can go far. It's all about being hungry for goals. That's the point. You playing soccer, so soccer is all about scoring goals. Same with Arsenal. If you score 5 or 6 goals and you concede 1 or 2 goals, you still win the game. That was Klopp's philosophy. If I attack, I play rock and roll football. That wins you a game. Even if I concede, it's fine. It's all about bagging those 3 points. And I think the vital part is gonna be the midweek games in December, leading on to the games coming on the weekend. It's gonna be important, and it's gonna be interesting to see the how the managers rotate their players. Who's gonna be in the starting 11, who's gonna be on the bench. It's a pivotal moment in terms of FA Cup also coming up. Guys, there's so much games. Players are also complaining in terms of staying fresh. In terms of playing. So I really I wish Chelsea all the best. They've always been good rivals for Liverpool. I always enjoy watching their games, even though most of the games are draws or it's a 1-1 or 2-2. But in terms of what the coach is doing, I definitely I take my head off for him. I mean, it's a massive squad, and to bring them down to a starting 11, and the key for you guys is definitely Cole Palmer. I mean, his celebration was cold, and he's like, guys, with the cold signature, I mean, Cole Palmer is definitely one for the future, and I think Sati regret letting him go. I mean, if you look at Cole Palmer now versus Foden, who would you guys take? Palmer any time of the day in terms of versatility, and he's showing his consistency, guys. I mean, he doesn't miss
But you
penalties, he
take
can
Saka
take a
over
free
both
kick.
of them now. Take Saka
Yeah,
over both of them.
Saka has been
There's different
consistent as well.
conversations
I'm
here.
not gonna lie.
There's
To be
different
honest,
conversations.
guys, it's gonna be a
Saka's
battle
a
for the
Salah name,
future.
bro.
Palmer versus Saka.
Saka's, it's the Salah Haaland conversation. Leave the young men there to talk with Foden and
Yes.
Palmer, man.
But for the future, it's gonna be Palmer versus Saka in terms of age and in terms of what they can bring forth. So it's gonna be interesting. They're still young, both of them. They're not even in their prime. So wait for them to hit 26, 27. That's when you see a
Yeah, for
total
sure.
different player. And it's also about longevity. I mean, look at Salah, like you said, it's how you look after your body, how you play. You need to change and adapt each and every season. And right now, the top three players for me in the league easily, it's Salah, Saka, Palmer. Palmer was quiet for 2 games, came back just like that with a bang. So it's definitely it's interesting to watch, guys. don't count Chelsea out. There's always that dark horse team that you can't count out. Thank you.
Look, I have to agree with you there, saying don't count out Chelsea, but like I'll still stick to my statement. I just don't think that this season they have enough to compete for the league. They might be there and thereabout, but I think for Chelsea, a cup win and like a conference league win in the top four, I think that's perfect, bro. Like I don't think I won't even troll them. Like winning the conference league and finishing top four, like to get a trophy in your first season as Maresca with that young team and making Champions League, the confidence it will give them for the next season will just be crazy. It'll just be crazy. And listen, here's I've got a comment here. This is what I always laugh. Justin here is a Liverpool fan. He says Saka is never on the Salah level. And when people say that, I'm not saying Saka is better than Salah, guys. That's not what I'm saying. Nobody's saying that. But output-wise, Saka and Salah and Haaland are the only three players in the past 3 seasons to have contributed 60 goals and assists plus. That's a fact. Whether you think Saka is on the level, it's a fact. And again, what I also maintain, bro, is that no one has had the pressure like Saka, in the sense that Saka has literally carried a broken football club on his shoulders, bro. Saka broke into the team at 17. Tell me when Saka was dropped. Tell me when Saka has, in a sense, not been the mainstay in the Arsenal team. Having played at left back, having played as a right winger, having played left winger, this guy's England's player of the year 2 seasons in a row. Okay, Palmer won it last year. And I think when you mention players with Salah, now it's suddenly, oh no, he's not better than Salah, he's nowhere near. It's literally, I think Salah's got 1 goal or 2 goals more contributions than Saka in the league this season. How can you say he's not anywhere near his level? That's a literal lie. Saka's got the most assists in this season. That means Salah is not as creative as Saka. Is that correct in saying that? No, because assist doesn't necessarily mean creativity. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think Liverpool fans, it's not all of y'all, but some of you get very touchy when you start to mention other players next to Salah. Yeah, Salah does. So you mention Hazard, then it's, oh no, Hazard is never close to Salah. Which is also a lie. Because there's something there's things that Hazard was doing, maybe not on the consistency level of 8 years, but Salah is yet to do what Hazard did in terms of effect, bro. Like, I don't know how to explain it to you, but it's not just the goals, bro. It's not just the goals that, like, Hazard, I genuinely, when he used to step on the field, there was fear. Salah's got that element, but not to the same degree as what Hazard had, bro. Not to the same degree what Hazard had.
Nah, nigga.
Gents, I'm not.
If I can jump in quickly, I'm gonna give you one stat. Salah against the top teams: Spurs, United, Chelsea, Arsenal, City. The dude has the most goals and contributions ever in the league against those top 6 alone. That, Gordon, if you agree with me, that makes you a potent player as a winger.
100%
to have the most goals against the top 6.
No doubt, bro.
Salah is a threat. If you look at him this season, when Salah gets the ball, players fear him. You're not sure if Salah's going to cut in and try his luck, or if he's going to do some tricky assist. I mean, look at the assist he pulled off this weekend. That was world class. I mean, for Ferdinand to even say that's a world-class assist, I didn't expect him to do that. His vision, I mean, he's turning into a playmaker and a goal scorer.
Don't shoot me. That nigga was trying to shoot. He wasn't passing it to Gakpo. Don't shoot me. Salah don't pass there. Salah shoot. Don't shoot. Don't come here and shoot and say he's a great assist.
Wait, guys, let me also add to that, because I think what Sharon's trying to say is not necessarily Salah's a better goal scorer. Salah's a better probably assister. Salah's a better in terms of statistics. But Hazard, in terms of a footballer and the joy and the spark and the igniting the flames and bringing the crowd into that, is better. Similar to how if Haaland had to stay forever in the league versus a Thierry Henry, he'd score more goals, he'd be the ultimate striker, but he wouldn't be the most beautiful looking player under the sun to take on 5 guys. And, just the look of a football is what Shannon's trying to explain, the beauty of football in it. It doesn't have that beauty.
I'll say it again. I'm guys, believe me. I even said it. I would still put Salah in my all-time 11 Premier League players over Hazard. But
Okay.
it's not because of the overall quality of the play. It's because of his consistency. That's the biggest thing. Remember, guys, also Hazard was at the top level from very young. Hazard came to Chelsea at what, 21, bro. Remember that also. Hazard came to
Yeah.
Chelsea at 21, bro. You know, and yes, Madrid, it fell off. We can all sit here and say that no problem. But I think with Salah, you know, the difference again, like I said, is the consistency. And both are great players, bro. And I don't want any Liverpool fans in the comment section to think that I don't rate Salah. I rate him. Like I said, I rate him as the best Premier League winger because of his consistency and his output. You cannot deny that. But from an aesthetic point of view, there have been better wingers, bro. Let's be honest. You can, as a Liverpool fan, you can say there, Rian, you can say CR7 was a technically better aesthetic player. Hazard, aesthetically better, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, Gareth Bale,
But
aesthetically better than Salah.
let me jump in. So if you're building a team, nah,
Goals
who
are
are
important,
you
yes.
choosing?
No, but
wait,
I'm gonna take
like,
Salah because you
you're gonna
want to
take
score,
Salah.
you want to win. Yeah, but
Okay,
Gordon, bro, that's
wait.
obviously
Here's another question for you.
okay.
When Salah's career is over in like 10 years' time, who are we going to remember more between Eden Hazard and Mohamed Salah?
Salah, but it's like, yeah, no, for sure, consistency, bro. That's what I'm saying.
I'm a Chelsea fan, and I'm starting to see that like the Hazard and Salah debate is now. Hazard was a good player, probably the best in terms of technical ability that the Premier League has ever seen, probably. But you can't say that. It even feels like you're discrediting everything that Salah does, and I'm not talking about you in particular. The debate is just it's not fair on Salah, bro. Mohamed Salah,
Okay.
look at that GA, dog.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
A quick question. So Salah is actually close to breaking Thierry Henry's record in terms of Premier League goals. Is Salah better than Henry? No. You know what? Even if Salah scores 100 more goals, bro.
If he continues this trajectory, yes, and if he wins, if he can win, if he can win 2 more Premier Leagues. No, wait, listen. If he can win 2 more, because the other day I learned that Thierry only has 2 Premier Leagues. So if Salah has 3, and if he breaks his goal scoring record, what are we talking about, bro?
Bro, Jose Pinto has got more league titles than Iker Casillas. Is he fucking better? Sorry. No, he's not. That doesn't mean anything, bro. You could just be in a successful team.
We're talking about 2 first-team players here. But
Okay. Sure.
Now.
Okay. Haaland breaks Henry's record. Is Haaland a better player than Henry? No, bro. Come on.
He scored more goals. Yeah. But
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, guys, again, Salah. Okay, let's put it like this: Salah is better than Hazard, but he's not better than Henry. If I'm making, he's in that bracket in between, bro. Like,
it's a bit difficult to compare Henry and Salah.
Okay, wait.
That's like too different.
Okay, so Jade, I think we're going completely off track because we had to talk about other teams as well. Let's not get lost in this conversation. Yes, not get lost in this conversation. We will be here for hours. I think let's move it on to Man United. Obviously, Arsenal playing on Wednesday. United are looking back. I should not say, we've said that so many times over the past 4 years, and then it's a new manager in 3 months. But, you know, Amorim, and I said this on one of our previous podcasts, he's got personality, which Ten Hag didn't have. You cannot, check here, Slot, Maresca, Amorim, and Arteta. What do they all have in common, in my opinion? Is personality, bro. They are able to handle the clubs that they're at. Maresca says straight, I'm not going to play Sterling and Chilwell. They must look for another team. Live. No mincing his words. Live. You're out. What did Arteta do to Aubameyang? You late, whatever. You're out. No longer captain. Slot came in. Don't tell me what Jurgen Klopp used to do. We don't do things the same anymore. Amorim coming in and saying, listen, I don't want to do a lot of interviews. I'm here to focus on the team. I don't have time for all this. That is setting yourself, like that is coming in and setting the authority. When the players hear that, they immediately respect it, bro. And I think that's what Ten Hag never had at United. He never had the respect that he probably could have gotten if he was just like, for example, I always said this guy should have benched Bruno, should have benched Rashford. You know, he should have put the nail in thrown the line in the sand and said, "This is my do's and my don'ts." But he went back on his word too many times. You know, he tried to beef with Ronaldo. You know what I'm saying? Like he just did things the wrong way. And I think Amorim, on the other hand, looks like he'll be the guy. He's saying the right things. He's basically just he's just they say aura. He's got an aura about him that tells you, okay, this guy, if given the right tools, will succeed at United. And I think we always talk about it in football. In life, there's cycles. City cycle seems to be coming to an end now. Pep is not going to be there forever. The players will not be at that same level as what they used to be. That cycle is coming to an end. It'll be someone else's turn. And eventually it will be United's turn again. And I think they've put the correct manager in the position. Rian, bro, obviously the game now against Everton, where look, Everton had their chances, so it wasn't all their own way. But at the end of the day, the result is 4-0. That's a clean sheet for United. Do you think that United have enough in their, no pun intended, in their arsenal to hurt Arsenal on Wednesday?
One. I mean, if we look at history, regardless of how bad United has been in the past 10 years, they've always given Arsenal a run for their money. In terms of stats, they've won more games than Arsenal. I mean, if we look at Marcus Rashford, all of a sudden the guy's alive. I mean, people are saying he's back with his ex. I was laughing, and all of a sudden the guy's performing like nobody's business. I mean, just to come in and change a team, 3-4-3, playing attacking soccer. I mean, Amad Diallo, who expected him to be such a baller, I mean, he was player of the season at Middlesbrough when he was on loan. And then when they brought him back, I expected him to play. And now all of a sudden we can see what Amad Diallo is capable of. I mean, if we look at Mazraoui, what a blind buy, guys, but what a good buy at the same time. I mean, the guy's energetic. I mean, geez, he reminds me of Robertson, like he's up and down, up and down, up and down, putting in a shift. It's not going to be an easy game for you guys in terms of the style of play that he's bringing in towards the team. It's fearless. He wants to attack. So he's definitely going to take the game to Arsenal. I mean, he needs to prove himself. He needs to be part of the big bosses club, and he looks like he knows what he's all about. I mean, in the interview, he said this weekend, he's not here to play games. You need to prove yourself as a player. And if he deems you fit to play, you're going to play. It's all about him winning and taking United back to where they belong. And I mean, if we look at the current form of Mazraoui and Amad Diallo, I think that's going to be pivotal in the game in terms of how they play, the wing play. It's going to be interesting because Arsenal also like to play on the wing. So I think it's going to be a good game to watch. Definitely don't count them out in terms of they also have two good strikers. I mean, Xerxes is still young. Watchland is also still young, and there's like balance now. Like if Watchland is playing first half, you can bring on Xerxes. It's a different dynamic. He likes to play with his runners, strong runners, almost like the Haaland type of strikers. It's definitely gonna be a good one to watch because you guys play 4-3-3. He plays a 3-4-3. So it's definitely gonna be a technical game. And I feel like the team that takes their chances, that's the team that's going to win the game. It's always been an open game with Arsenal and with United. There's always goals involved. So this is going to be important midweek, I think, for all of us in terms of, I'm just saying, imagine Liverpool win and Arsenal draw or lose. I mean, you're going to be broken by that, because, I mean, then United fans, they like to make a noise. So it's definitely a game where Arsenal, need to stay focused. I mean, your captain is back, Odegaard, brilliant player. I've always rated him, even at Madrid. I mean, he's back, and the confidence is back. He oozes class in the midfield I mean, if you look at him attacking, the guy gets the ball and he thinks I'm gonna attack. That's the type of play you need. But then if you look at Bruno's also becoming alive now. I mean, he showed us his technical ability and his skill. He nutmegged a few players this weekend. I was even like, he looks like a different player. Now he looks like he wants to play that captain's role. So it's definitely it's gonna be a good one to watch. I mean, Bruno is definitely also up there in terms of a world-class midfielder. Maybe just
100%,
United
100%.
never knew how to manage him. But if you look at his stats, if we look at Bruno's stats, at
Bruno's stats are
United,
crazy,
really
bro.
not bad at all. He is crazy. Even at Portugal, he's definitely not an underrated player. He's a quality player. It's gonna be a battle in the middle of the park, with Arsenal. Arsenal like to control the game in the middle, and I feel like that will dictate and it will tell us who's gonna win the game. It's not gonna be a game based off possession. It's gonna be a game based upon who takes the chances and who scores. It's definitely gonna be a tough one. I mean, Mazraoui is up against Saka, and Mazraoui is really good. So this is gonna be interesting one to watch. So that's my view.
100%. And I think United are definitely growing in confidence. And I think both teams probably wouldn't want to play each other right now. United don't want to play a confident Arsenal. I'm not too sure I want to play a confident United. But at the same time, nothing would give me more joy than beating a good United team. You know what? Like, let's be honest. Imagine a season where Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, City, or like the top 6 teams were genuinely all on proper form and all going for the title. Imagine how much a victory against your rival would actually mean if they're performing to their best ability. Like, yes, City lost yesterday against Liverpool, but imagine if City were peaking, bro. Like, peak City and Liverpool beat them like that yesterday. How much more would you save in that victory? You get what I'm saying? You'd be like, shit, that was actually, like everyone, let's be honest, everyone almost expected Liverpool to beat City. It's almost a question of how much, because that's how poor City have been. And not in an arrogant way, it's just genuinely people were saying, listen, I heard people saying, listen, City have got nothing. This was like on Wednesday already last week, and you guys played yesterday, obviously. But I mean, so for me, to beat a United that's going to be in form, that's going to be confident, would be a much of a boost to us, because it would mean that you're beating a team that has a quality manager, quality players that is in good form, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a great team overall in terms of going to win in the league. But it's one of your rivals that I think if you can beat, it also kind of just slowly takes a bit of air out of their balloon. You know what I'm saying? And I think it gives you some more momentum going forward. I mean, we've got 2 tough games. I mean, we've got United on Wednesday and we've got Fulham on Saturday. I think those are 2 tough games. We've got Fulham away from home. So I think a win against United on Wednesday, I think that just gives us a lot more confidence going into the Fulham game, which we last season lost because we played very poorly. So I'm hoping that we can keep up our good form against United recently at home and get another victory, and then that will just be great. But Kaylan, bro, let me bring you in quickly. Obviously, you guys have played United this season. Obviously, it was a draw. Probably a very mixed kind of United, but looking at the United that you're seeing now, do you think that there's an outside chance United can still push and get a top 4 position, or do you think Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Liverpool, that's a top 4, it's done?
Yeah, no, I do think, you know what, in this league, it's very much possible that they can get top 4. It's unlikely. Top 4, I think it's a bit much at this point in time. I mean, the guy just came in, it's his first, I think, 3-4 games into the new season with Manchester. So top 4 is pushing it, but 5, 6, I mean, they're only a couple points off Man City at this point in time, so it's gonna be quite crazy to see. But like you spoke about Aura as a manager, I'm seeing a lot from Amorim. I mean, Liverpool wanted him when Klopp left, actually. So if Liverpool wanted him, then that means that there's something there. And clearly, you can see in the way he presents himself, his tactics at Sporting. I mean, beating Manchester City before he left convincingly as well. I mean, and he's able to get the best. I mean, Gyökeres is changed him into a world class striker that everybody wants to buy. He can do the same with Hoyland. He can do similar things with Xerxes. He knows Mason Mount, how to play Mason Mount. So there's a lot of things. The players just need to work with him. There's no doubt his tactics are there. And also, like you mentioned, him in interviews, the way he speaks and the way he's not there to just talk. He's there to show everything on the field. You don't want to see anything just in the media. So similar to a Enzo, similar to a Slot. So very excited to see Manchester United. But yeah, no, in terms of the game on Wednesday, I think Arsenal definitely surely will beat them. I mean, they have to beat them because if Liverpool beat Newcastle and Chelsea and Arsenal lose to Manchester
12
United,
points.
yeah, no, that's one hand on the title for Liverpool right there.
Yeah, look, I think this is like Rian said, it'll be a pivotal week. Godwin, do you think that, like our same question I asked Kaylan, do you think United can make the top 4, or do you think the top 4, the way we're seeing it now, is just a matter of slight position changes, but those 4 teams will ultimately be the ones to complete it?
The way the season is going, I think that it's it's very possible for them to make top four because they've won their past few games quite convincingly. So we never know. Maybe they could go on a run, bro. I don't think the top four is set. I think anyone can drop out of that top four, apart from realistically Liverpool. So top four is up for grabs. I can see Tottenham being there. I can see Man United being there. Don't count out Aston Villa as well. So it's very tight. It's a very interesting fight this year.
Fuck Villa. They're not making it. Fuck, Emre's hype, bro. I've been telling people this. Emre's hype, bro. Yeah, Emre's, bro.
Nah,
And
you're just jealous because he couldn't do it at Arsenal. What he's doing at
no,
Arsenal.
bro. It's not about jealousy. The guy couldn't even, bro. The guy lost a 6-1 lead, bro. Let's not forget that. Remember, that's the same manager that lost for PSG against Barca. Let's not forget that, bro.
Biggest corruption refereeing scandal in football history.
Yes, sure. This is the guy who Arsenal had to win 1 out of their 8 games to make the Champions League that season. Couldn't do it. Went against Chelsea in Europa League final. Bear in mind, this guy's a Europa League specialist. Goes with Arsenal and loses 4-1, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Guys, let's just say let's just say that from 2nd to 9th, anyone can make top 4 at this point in time. Liverpool is the only one that has a significant gap amongst any other team. 2 to 9 is absolutely crazy if you look at the table. So Brighton, Nottingham, anyone.
Arsenal not dropping out, my guy.
Yeah.
Arsenal are staying in a tough.
It's not impossible. It's not impossible, bro. You guys can. If Saka gets
I'm
injured,
not saying it's
if Odegaard
impossible.
gets injured, boy, we can see. It's very.
I'm not saying it's
everyone-
impossible. All I'm telling you is it's not happening. I'm not saying it's
No,
impossible.
I'm saying consistently, like one team out of that 9 can get in. I mean, Arsenal, I'm thinking definite. Chelsea, definite. Okay, Chelsea, okay, but 75%. Liverpool definitely there. So Liverpool and Arsenal definitely going to be in there. Chelsea more than likely to be in there. But the 4th position can go to Nottingham, can go to a Brighton, can go
not
to
Forest.
anybody
Come on.
under the
Come on, you
sun.
see what I'm saying?
Come on, guys. Anyone.
Guys. Let me tell you now, every season you see it. This one is starting great. That one, like, you see it, like there'll be 4 teams that shouldn't be where they're supposed to be. Then only one tends to stay there, like Villa from last season, Newcastle from the season before. Gents, Forest will end up like 11th or like 8th or like 10th, somewhere there. Brighton will end up like 9th. It just naturally takes its course, bro. Like, like Spurs will end up 7th or 6th. United will end up 5th. Chelsea will stay 4th. Like, in a sense of it's just I'm not fooled, man. I'm not fooled. I won't lie. But let's wait and see. Let me not talk too much. Football is a humbler. I just don't see it. I don't see Nottingham Forest having a.
Stay humble, stay humble.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Can you say that Nottingham Forest will consistently be better than United this season or better than Spurs? No. Again, it's only 13 games, bro. You're not even halfway.
True.
There's so much
Let's
football.
not count anyone out because we wouldn't expect Villa to make it last year. We didn't expect Newcastle to make it the year before.
Exactly.
So let's not count it out. Anyone.
Look at the Champions League. Madrid are like 18th or something. Madrid and them are low, bro. PSG is low. Like some of the teams are low. So, and there's still games, bro. It's too much, bro. That's why you see them. I'm not saying that's why Liverpool they're doing well now. That's only game week 13, bro. There's 27 games left, gents. Relax. Usa. Rian, hold on to that spot tight, boss. The Sharks are lurking, my guy. But anyway, gents, let's move over to the last game of the weekend. Obviously, Spurs against Fulham. We saw Spurs turn to default settings. It's amazing that they can beat City twice. And I think that's with only 2 victories. They've lost against Palace or they drew against Palace. No, they've lost against Palace, I think. They drew against Roma. They didn't draw against Fulham. And that's what you ask me. Like Tottenham, they won't make top 4 for that exact reason. The fact that they cannot even string 3 victories in a row, I just don't see them making top 4. And Gordon, bro, we've obviously had Medes on here quite a few times. He's spoken about his frustrations at his team. Just how frustrating is it for you to see, obviously as a neutral, but Spurs, like, 1 week they can go and outplay City, thump them, and then come the next week they just drop points at home against Fulham. Do you think that, like you said that they could make top four? Is that something that you genuinely believe because of the squad, or have you seen something that this season you think, okay, Spurs will actually be able to get a top four over the line?
Yeah, no. Look, I'm a Chelsea fan, but I don't hate Tottenham that much. So it's very frustrating to see how they can play so well and at the same time be unable to get 3 points on a regular basis. So it's frustrating. What I've seen from Tottenham, I see that they do play good football. So that's what makes it so frustrating. The fact you thumped Man City 4-0. You beat them, I think, 2-1 in the Carabao Cup, but then you can't beat Fulham. Granted, yes, Fulham are a good team. But look at the games that they've lost, bro. Ipswich, they couldn't beat Leicester. You see teams like that. It's frustrating. But I do think that they're a few signings away from being a solid team. And if you look at the games that they've lost or have failed to win, guys, they could have easily won those games. And if they win half of those games that they didn't win, who's to say that they wouldn't be in the top four? So it's frustrating from a neutral point of view.
Yeah, and like I think Spurs have a good enough team. Spurs have a top four team. The only problem is like Spurs, and this is not disrespect to Liverpool. So when I say this, please everybody listen to me clearly. Spurs have a good 11, similar to what I would say Liverpool do, in a sense that, do they have another player that can replace a Van Dijk or a Son or a Romero adequately over a long period of time? Can Joe Gomez be the type of defender, for example, to take Liverpool from now? Let's say Van Dijk gets a ACL injury from now to the end of the season. Do you think Joe Gomez is the type of centre back that wins you the league? Same way, can a Dragoshan and a Ben Davis take Spurs to the top four? Do you get what I'm saying? And this is, like I said, this is not disrespect to Liverpool. So before you jump in and think I'm dissing your team, it's not. So what I'm saying is that just in terms of like for like, it's very Spurs don't have that. Spurs don't have that. Okay, Son is not performing. Who can Werner do it? No, we can't. Like, truthfully speaking, he can't. Ben Foster for Vicario. Say goalkeeper wise, no, we can't. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only issue with Spurs, that they aren't consistent in their starting 11. And then when you have the starting 11 players not playing well, you then see the bench players not necessarily stepping up. I mean, who in the Spurs front line can compete with Kulusevski in terms of creativity? Maybe Maddison, but Maddison is nowhere near consistent, guys. We've seen Maddison for years now fail to be a consistent player. Hence why he never breaks into the England team. The quality is there, it's just the consistency isn't there. So, in my opinion, I think Spurs are doing what I expect from Spurs: to win here, lose there, and finish somewhere between 9th and 6th, bro. No disrespect. Until Daniel Levy and Spurs invest in the team properly and go get some really world-class players, that's where they always end up, because that's only as far as those players can take you. You know what I'm saying? Like, for Arsenal and for City, for even for Chelsea to some extent, you can take off Sancho and put in a Pedro Neto. You know what I'm saying? And the level is good. You get what I'm saying? Like, you could Liverpool have it in a certain position. You can take out a Diaz and put in a Gakpo. That's good. Arsenal can maybe take out a Ben White and put in a Timber. That's good. But Spurs, you can't go from from Romero and Van der Ven to Dragoshan and Ben Davis and then expect to go to a level, because the contrast is too big, bro. The gap is too big between the quality. You have to bridge the quality between your bench and your starting 11 to be able to have a competitive squad. Spurs have a good 11. That's it. They don't have a good squad. So yeah, I just think that Spurs, I think that is the cap for them. I think, don't be surprised, Jens, if Spurs beat one of us and then go and lose against Southampton. Like, genuinely speaking. Like, we should no longer be, we shouldn't, like, calling it Spursy, it's not even a Spursy thing. It's just, that's just, you know what, why am I even saying it? Why are you guys hearing it from me?
For you when you changed formation and the two goals came very quickly.
Yeah, but Tottenham, it's the history of the Tottenham. They always created many chances and scored so much, but at the end they miss always something to arrive at the end. We believe in the history. I think
There you have it, bro. I don't even have to say anything. It's there. It's there. So, look, I think that actually is a perfect way to end the show. I think, gents, it's been a really good show. Almost an hour and a half. Kept you guys quite late. You know, it's been great to have you all back. I'm so happy that we've able to get the content coming out a lot well back again. To everybody that's been in the comment section, that's interacted, that's obviously stayed up to watch. Thank you so much for your support, guys. You know, it does mean a lot, especially to myself and the panel who do take time out of their busy schedules to be here, to talk football, to talk banter, you know, just everything top six related. You know, it's always a lot of fun. So, gents, thank you so much. And like I said, guys, that is it for this episode of the Toxic Show, where rivals burn, banter thrives, and no opinion is too bold. I even have an outro. So we up. New camera, land output, intro, outro. We up. We are up. But yes, gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time to jump in. I know it's been a busy period for everybody, and obviously we've got a lot of football to discuss. So let us know your predictions for this midweek's games, people. We hopefully will have a panel maybe later in this week, Thursday, maybe Friday, for just a quick, show just to review what's happening in the week and just look forward to this weekend's games. So, gents, and to everyone in the comments and all viewers, thank you so much.
Sure.